Hello, everybody. Happy December. I hope everyone's doing great today. Just a quick side note for my backend people. Kelly, if you can continue to share your screen for me, I'm having some technical difficulties with my computer. So if you can move the slides along, that would be great. We are now live. So if you're having issues with hearing, please make sure your speakers are unmuted. There is no telephone dial-in for today's event. All right, so let's get into the meat of the content, moving right along. Quick introduction. You guys know who I am if you've been here. I'm Leah Hartman. I am your hostess with the mostest today. And I'm here to share with you guys some updates for the last calendar month of the year. I can't believe it's already December and almost the end of December outside of that. So quickly, been with the company a long time, almost 12 years, still here in Tucson, haven't moved. And excited to be with you guys here today. So lots of stuff that we have to cover. So we're gonna make sure we get to the presenters very quickly. A couple housekeeping items, as always, navigating the Zoom webinar platform. You can access the Q&A for questions. The handouts, we have given you guys the link for those that have asked for it. Otherwise, you can access it by going to www.intuit.me/ITK handout-DEC23. As far as our agenda goes, nothing new here. We're going to do our welcome intros, CPE credit eligibility information next. We'll talk about the objectives super quick, and then I'll have my presenters come on and share with you guys some cool stuff that we have for the day, and then we'll close out the webinar, 60 minutes. So if you guys can hang tight for 60 minutes, you'll get that CPE if you need it. As always, questions and feedback, we highly recommend them. We ask that you please use the Q&A for those, not chat. Chat should be disabled. We do ask, though, that you please only submit questions that's related to today's content. There are a ton of you and just a few of us. We will do our very best to answer all questions as they come through. But if we don't get to you, it's not because we're ignoring you. We are going to do our very best to get to every single one of you. But not all questions will be addressed. Questions not answered during the webinar should be in your FAQ. And finally, if you have a technical related issue, the product's not working the way it's supposed to, you're getting an error code of some sort, we will not be able to assist with you on those. Please be sure to contact our support line at 888-333-3451. Again, that's 888-333-3451. All right, if you guys know the drill, CPE process here. In order to receive your CPE credit in each training session, you must be present for a minimum of 50 minutes to earn 1 CPE credit. Make sure you answer all polling questions. So that means if you step away or you're on another computer screen or you pop something else up, it might disappear. Please make sure that you get that polling question. If it pops up, it might be behind some windows, things like that. If all or part of the requirements are met, your CPE will be emailed within 2 weeks following the close of today's webinar. And we're sending it from accountant_training@intuit.com. So make sure it is an approved contact. And it's only going to be one, right? So if I register for the In the Know webinar, then I'm going to get the CPE. If you have a group of people sitting in the room, they'll each need to individually register. Awesome. Thank you so much for the help, Kelly. Really appreciate it. So 3 things we got 3 presenters today. We're going to learn all about the new chart of accounts templates. I know we've been, it's been out for a minute, but we haven't had anybody discuss it. So I'm excited to have our presenter on that today. I also have a coworker of mine who's going to talk about the accountant batch migration tool, which just went live. And finally, we will discover the latest ProAdvisor training modules at the end of today's session. And once again, if you guys are looking for that handout, it is www.intuit.me/ITK handout-DEC23. I do have one quick announcement that I need to make for you guys here really quickly. Let me get my little cheat sheet here. So moving your agricultural clients from compliance to CAS has the potential to unlock a significant revenue growth for your firm. You understand the need to move more of your clients into advisory and know the prize is there. But the complex and highly specialized nature of agriculture accounting makes it difficult. So how do you actually do it, and how do you do it at scale? So An industry as complex and specialized as agriculture requires a specialist financials tools. Generalist tools and spreadsheets aren't the answer. It's as simple as that. Figured and QuickBooks Online have combined to unlock the CAS opportunity that exists for accounting firms with agricultural clients. Combining Figured's agribusiness financial management tools with the power of QuickBooks Online on a single connected ledger gives accountants a fully integrated AG-specific solution. The new solution drives the delivery of all your agribusiness services at scale, from reporting to high-value CAS. If you'd like to find out more about the partnerships or how the tool works to solve some of the most challenging and complex accounting tasks for agriculture and how they can be used to establish, scale, or optimize CAS, including a demo, then there are some recorded webinars available to watch. Simply scan the QR codes that we have here or visit the link on the screen / in the handouts. With that, that's my only announcement that I have for today. I have chart of account templates, and I do believe I have my good friend Christina who's going to come on, introduce herself, and take it away.
Fabulous. Give me a moment to share my screen, and then I'll go from there. All right, so my name is Christina Pan. I work as a product manager on the QuickBooks Online accounting automation team. More specifically, I work on the features involving the chart of accounts. I've been at Intuit for about 2 years, and I work out of the headquarters in Mountain View, California. So as Leah has mentioned, chart of accounts templates has been out for a hot minute. But with that, let's talk a little bit about what we've heard and what we've done in response to that. So we've heard that you are spending a lot of time and effort customizing the chart of accounts, especially when onboarding new clients. And this is because QuickBooks Online historically hasn't had tools available to efficiently tailor the chart of accounts. And so we've heard a lot of irritation and disappointment around this, especially since a lot of other products do have these tools. For instance, we've heard that many accountants have a standard chart of accounts that they would like to have for all of their clients, but because it takes so much effort, they haven't gotten around to implementing that standard chart of accounts. With that, we've heard this feedback, and so we've built a tool to really streamline chart of account setup during new client onboarding, and that is chart of accounts templates. The main set of features are that, first of all, you can build and save templates, and once you've created those templates, you can apply those templates to existing as well as new clients across the firm instance. To make the building and saving of templates easier, you can create templates from scratch within chart of accounts templates, as well as customized ready-made product-based or service-based templates. In addition, if you have a pre-existing template, we also make it easy for you to import those pre-existing templates into chart of accounts templates. On top of this, we also allow for the management of templates. So if you have a template already within chart of accounts templates, you can modify, duplicate, as well as delete these templates. And as of November 20th, this feature is live globally for all QuickBooks Online accountant users. Now with that, we've seen that accountants have saved time with chart of accounts templates. Recently, we've done a survey with accountants where they've gone through the chart of accounts templates, and we asked them a few questions. And one of the questions, we saw that 75% of accountants said that they would apply a template on their next client. And when asking why, first of all, saving time was a major rationale behind it, but also with the chart of accounts templates, there was a clear process for firm employees to be able to standardize the chart of accounts. In addition, I would like to highlight a quote from one of the accountants we interviewed, in which she said, "We would use this chart of accounts feature every time we onboarded a new client." Clients tend to have a lot of really positive feedback about an update to a chart of accounts, because usually someone did one before that they don't really understand. So it's a really quick way to add value, and they don't have to wait on it. With that, we're going to watch part of a demo around the general chart of accounts templates functionality. If you would like to see the demo in its entirety, you can go to the help article page and view the video there.
With QuickBooks Online Accountant, you can create chart of accounts templates and then apply them to your client's chart of accounts to set them up quickly and give them a standard set of accounts. Let's go over how to set up a template for the chart of accounts and apply it to a client's QuickBooks company. select Accountant Tools, COA Templates. Then add New Template. Choose the type of business you want to create a template for, or start from scratch. Name the template. Then, if you use account numbers, toggle them on. The template starts with a set of accounts based on the industry you chose earlier. To set up a new account, select Add New Parent Account, then name the account. Select the account type and a detail type. If you'd like more detailed reporting for the account, select Add New Subaccount. Then name the subaccount. QuickBooks automatically fills in the account type, but you do need to select a detail type. Select this button to delete an account. Note that if you delete a parent with subaccounts, you'll also delete the subaccounts. When you finish setting up the accounts you want this kind of business to have, select Save. Select the Action drop-down and then Edit if you need to change a template. Note that editing the template won't affect companies you've already applied the template to. You can also delete or duplicate templates from here. Now let's apply the template to a client's QuickBooks. Select Apply Template. Select the client. Applying the template adds all of the accounts and subaccounts from the template onto their company's chart of accounts.
Fantastic. Now with that, I know that many accountants already have pre-existing templates, so we're going to have a demo with respect to the import functionality specifically.
Hi, my name is Christina, and in this demo, I'll show you how to import an existing chart of accounts template. This functionality builds upon chart of accounts templates, which streamlines chart of accounts setup for accountants. To set the scene, imagine you are part of Intuit accounting firm. Intuit accounting firm already has a standard chart of accounts that is applied to every one of their clients. One particular element of the standard chart of accounts is the Intuit accounting firm service fee. Starting on the chart of accounts templates homepage, let's select the import button. Here we choose to upload the Intuit standard chart of accounts spreadsheet. Now that the information has been parsed, QuickBooks asks you to map the spreadsheet fields with the corresponding elements of the chart of accounts template. These elements are the account name, number, type, and detail type. In this case, QuickBooks has correctly identified the spreadsheet fields, but in case it doesn't, you can select the fields in the drop-down. Since everything looks fine, let's save these mappings. Now we are given the opportunity to modify the imported template before saving it onto QuickBooks Online Accountant. Modifications include adding accounts, adding sub-accounts, deleting accounts, as well as modifying elements within an account. Since we like our chart of accounts template as is, we'll just add a name. In this case, we'll add Intuit Standard COA. Now let's save it, and voila! We have successfully imported an existing template. This template can now be applied to clients. Thank you for listening. Hi.
With that, let's go to our polling question, which is how often do you onboard clients with existing QuickBooks Online companies? There are 6 options, and they are never, rarely, sometimes, often, always, and not applicable if you haven't onboarded a client before.
Thank you so much, Christina. Just a heads up, guys, we have these poll questions up for about a minute. We're about 25 seconds in, roughly. So make sure you get those questions answered if you need that CPE. I'm curious to see how folks answer this question too, because I feel like for me, it's a lot of people, but I could be totally wrong. Also, I don't know if anyone else caught it, but Christina said globally. So, and I haven't seen a person ask about Canada, so that's awesome. About 10 more seconds, guys. I see some folks coming in. We have 100% answered. That's pretty amazing. That's awesome, guys. We'll get that poll closed out. So it does look like we have two runner-ups, sometimes and often, which was pretty much what I had guessed. So thoughts on anything on that poll, Christina?
That's really great information to know, especially since that can essentially lead to ways we can improve the chart of accounts templates experience. So thank you for sharing that with us. Alrighties, and with that, let's answer some questions.
Perfect. Awesome. So we do have quite a few questions that I want to go through with you if we have time. But Christina, one of the questions that we had was, if you apply a template to an existing client, how does that affect their current chart of accounts?
Great question. So the way that it works is that the chart of accounts templates, when you apply a template, only creates accounts and it does not delete any accounts. With that, the chart of accounts templates does look to prevent duplication of accounts. And essentially what it's looking for is whether or not the attributes of the accounts are the same, such as the name, the account type, the detail type, as well as the account number.
Okay, perfect. So it will avoid duplications as long as the attributes are the same.
Yeah.
That's great. In kind of conjunction with that, someone had asked if the COA templates or chart of account templates include account numbers. Can you add account numbers to those templates?
Absolutely. So when you create a template, by default, the account numbers are off, but you have a toggle where you turn them on and then add account numbers to the templates.
Perfect. That's great to hear. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I've been around for a bit with the QuickBooks Online journey, and I know that we've gone through several different iterations of, should the chart of accounts be pre-created, should it be blank chart of accounts with accountants, right, based on feedback we get. Do you know by chance if we can start up QuickBooks Online with just a blank chart of accounts now, or is it either pre-created chart of accounts or templates? Do you know?
So a really short version of the answer to this question is that if you create a client through QuickBooks Online Accountant, we've created a much narrower set of accounts by default. And so that will essentially allow for user application of chart of accounts templates. If your client has gone through the small business onboarding flow, that way they are going to get a much more expansive set of accounts.
So it does matter who sets it up, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Hopefully you guys all heard that. So if you're setting it up through a QBOA versus your client setting it up on their own, their chart of accounts are going to look massively different. Massively might have been the wrong word, but they'll look different.
They will look significantly different.
Okay. I'm not too far off. The other question I had was, did you say that you can use COA templates on existing clients? Yes, you can. Someone had asked about pre-created templates. So nonprofit was one. I think I saw trucking or construction in there as well. Do we have pre-generated templates for them to work off of in there?
So today we do have pre-generated templates. Granted, there are essentially two options today. You have the product-based as well as service-based templates. We are investigating to see if we can provide a much more expansive set of templates that are more specific to industry.
Okay, that makes sense. So we have something for you guys to start with right now, but we're going to continue to work on a more expansive list for you.
Exactly.
Otherwise, if you have your own, import it through Excel. Can we import from Excel? Yes, you can. I don't know if I have any other like new questions for you, Christina. I'm just double checking through all the ones that we got, so bear with me.
Take time.
Yeah. I think we're good on that. So far, personally, with the folks that I've talked to, I've heard great feedback on this. I can't wait to see the improvements that y'all make as we continue down this chart of accounts template journey. So I appreciate you coming and spending time with us today on this. And if you have an opportunity for you and your team to stay behind and answer any questions we missed, that would be awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Christina. Awesome. So next I have my good friend Rich, who is now going to talk about the batch migration tool for accountants. So Rich, whenever you are ready, please feel free to jump on, share your screen, and introduce yourself, and it's all yours.
Thank you, Leah. Hi, everyone. My name is Rich Ravago. I've been with Intuit for 13 years, and I'm located in Tucson, Arizona. Currently, I am on the implementation team, part of the professional services consultant team. My role is to make sure that everyone's data gets transferred over to QBO as fast and as accurate as possible. And today I'm going to be talking about the accountant batch migration tool. But before we get into that, do have a poll question. And that poll question goes as followed. How many QuickBooks desktops do you have that need to be migrated into QuickBooks Online? The first is 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 50, or 50 plus. So as Leah stated earlier, we'll give you guys about a minute to answer, and then we'll continue.
Rich, are we hoping everyone answers 50 plus? No, I'm kidding.
I'm hoping for 50 plus because that's going to make everyone's life a lot easier if they do answer 50 plus.
I mean, if we're talking about batch, I think that would make the most sense, but 10 also good as well. There is no better or worse in this case.
Correct. Yeah. I'm hoping for that sweet spot. Maybe the 21 to 50 be reasonable.
Yeah, definitely. Folks, we got about 10 seconds left before we close out that poll. Please be sure to answer it before we wrap up and move on. Yeah, this is great. I love this. So it does look like we have an overwhelming amount of folks who are in the 1 to 10 range. That's still really good, Rich. What are your thoughts?
As expected, a lot of clients hesitate to move to QBO, and hopefully what we have to show is going to kind of bump up those numbers a little bit more and show that the process is a lot easier now, especially with the migration tool being upgraded to more than one at once. Great, so let's get into it if I can. So what we've heard is a lot of the times that people are doing migrations, they wish that they can do more than one at a time instead of going through each one. It's kind of a slower process. So what we did is we created this batch migration tool that allows accountants to migrate up to 50 clients at once. And this does include desktop payroll and payments data. So it's a huge, huge win for us on the migration side. So big news today is the live date. So the batch migration tool is going to be available for the 2024 product. If you don't see it, you do have to upgrade and update your program. So once you've done that, I'll show everyone how you can access that tool. And then for additional information, we do have an article linked here. All right, so we can speed up migrations with this tool. It's extremely easy to use. It's a couple differences between the regular migration process and the new migration process. And like I said, one of the biggest things that we've captured with all the feedback that we received from accountants is the ability to migrate payroll and payments data. So with that, I'm going to cover a couple key points just to make sure everyone is under the same impression on how this is going to actually work. You can migrate any company file that's from QuickBooks Desktop 2011 or later. That includes Pro Premier and Mac. You do have to use the QuickBooks Desktop Accountant program, though. The batch migration tool is only available in that version of Desktop. The company files, they do have to be underneath the 750,000 target limit and less than 5 gigs. So same thing applies if a file is over those limits, a condensed is going to be required. Currently, at this time, the batch migration tool only supports partial migration for one company at a time. So keep that in mind. To access the migration tool, once you've opened the company file that you want to, or you've identified as a perfect candidate for QBO, the option to batch migrate is going to be under the same company dropdown that the original migration tool is listed under. So once you click company and select migrate multiple companies, you are going to see this screen. And here is going to be our first big step. To make sure that the bulk migration or the batch migration tool works properly, each file that you're planning on migrating has to be saved as a QM, which stands for quick migration. So you're going to be greeted by this window, and it's going to say, hey, you need to save your file as a QM. So you click the little green button that says save as QM. And then from there, you'll be able to save your current company in a directory that's preferably easy to access, like My Documents desktop or downloads, wherever it is that you can access quickly. And you're going to save that file as company name.qm. Once you hit save, you'll be able to rinse and repeat the process as many times as necessary. Just hit save another QM file. And instead of having to cycle through every single file and clicking the company dropdown, you're going to be brought over to your company selection screen, and you're going to automatically be brought over to the same window that you saw previously. So once you've done that and hit the save QM files, and let's say that you are ready to now click the open batch migration tool, which you can see here, your browser is going to pop up. And the first window you're going to see is just a quick checklist of what you need to have ready before migrating. So once you've selected and checked off all of these and hit the I double check and I'm good to go, and hit start, you're going to be logged into your QBO file. And keep in mind, you do have to use your accounting credentials and admin credentials on both the desktop and QBO portions of the migration. Once you've done that and signed in, you'll see the migration dashboard. Here, you're going to be able to select all the companies that you have saved as a QM. Either drag and drop them or select one by one, or just pick all of them and hit open. Once you've done that, the tool is going to bring you over to the next window, which is where you're going to be able to map each company to its counterpart in QBO. Keep in mind, if the company in QBO is not created, it does have to be created prior to migration. So you'll have to log out, create the new company, set the billing up, the name, all that good stuff, just as a normal QBO setup goes. Once you've done that, you'll be able to select all the companies using the checkboxes. And once they turn green, you'll be able to select the company on the right-hand side. So company one is going to be mapped to company 1, 2, and so on and so forth. One really cool feature here, under your preferences, you'll be able to select things like payroll, multi-currency, and all that good stuff. Once you've done that, you'll be able to start your migration. So once you hit your upload button that's located right here on the top right, you'll see that the company 1 to QBO company 1 was successful. Then you can click on the link to open QBO. This is going to go, and it's like I said earlier, it's going to be a rinse and repeat process. In a perfect world, everything gets sent over perfectly, and you'll see the successful status underneath the status column. But in the rare instances that we have any kind of mismatches, the tool's going to tell you, hey, company 4 has some mismatches upon migrating. So you can actually click the view mismatch and you'll see, hey, your profit and loss net income is off by X amount of money. Here's what is in desktop and here's what is in online. If you need additional help on either identifying those discrepancies or how to offset those discrepancies, you can connect to an expert and they'll be able to walk you through. Or if you know how to handle it, you can just go back into your either QuickBooks desktop file, find those discrepancies and enter them into QBO. So let's go back to the migration dashboard though. So once that we've identified and seen all of our files have been migrated successfully, clicking the Open QBO or QuickBooks file it's going to take you back to your original QuickBooks Online screen, and you'll be able to complete your setup, add any employees, give access to any of your staff that needs to be able to access those clients' books. And that, everyone, is how the batch migration tool works. And keep in mind, once again, it is live as of today in QuickBooks Accountant 2024. And with that, Leah, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can cover this slide.
Yes, thank you so much, Rich. So just a couple things I want to call out super quickly. We've interviewed accountants who've successfully migrated clients from desktop to online. And so there's some resources that we've developed for you that you can download here at intuit.me/migration-guides. First of all, how to build a migration strategy. If you find the value of QBO and you want to share that value with your clients and you want to migrate, we have provided you on how to build a migration strategy that will help you to figure out how you can move those clients successfully and in an easy manner. 2, we will provide a tactical guide to pre-conversion, the conversion itself, and post-conversion of company files. So not only do we have a strategy, we will provide you with step-by-steps of what to look for pre, during, and post, as well as a guide to help you inform and educate your clients on that migration process itself. Now, this is all assuming that your client is on board, ready to move to the cloud. If you're still having objections around the cloud, that's a completely different conversation, but this is, I'm ready to move, my clients are ready to move, let's do the thing.
Thank you, Leah.
Yeah.
And now we're going to open up to Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. I think this is a super great tool for those that are looking to migrate in major batches when it comes to their clients and moving to the online product. Quite a few questions kind of around some of the functionality. So one of the questions that came up is what exactly gets migrated from desktop to online when you're using the batch migration tool? Are you able to talk a little bit about the details there?
Yeah, absolutely. So just because it's a batch migration doesn't mean that anything is going to get skipped. Just like the standard migration process, everything gets pulled over as it is in desktop into QBO. So that includes payroll, inventory, payments, and so on and so forth. So there is no differences between the amount of information that gets transferred over or not. The only difference is just the type of file that you're saving your QuickBooks desktop as.
Okay, so it's the file difference when you're doing it the old school way versus the batch migration way.
Correct. Yeah, the original way is going to use that QBW, the active company file, versus the QM, which is essentially a QBW. It has all the same information, all the same attributes, features, functionality that you're used to, but it's just saving it as a different extension and using all that information to come into QBO.
Okay, that's good to know. In addition to that, some questions around payroll and payment products attached. Will that data migrate as well? And can you speak to a little bit about the attached services?
Correct. So it does get transferred over normally, just like it does with the standard migration tool. With inventory, you are going to have to select the FIFO date and things like that. That's going to be in the post setup. As for payments, the connection is going to be almost instantaneous. So kind of like what we're used to now, using that same admin credentials that are used to log into the Merchant Service Center are going to be the same ones that are going to be used to connect or reconnect that payments information.
Awesome, that's great to hear. I would imagine some folks do run into issues. Do you have any steps on how they can reach out for assistance if they're running into problems with the migration or just migration in general?
Absolutely. So we do have a couple different routes that our customers can take. So using the same customer care number that you have provided earlier in it, as well as the implementation_services at intuit.com. So if you are working with the implementation team, those would be the right people to reach out to as well.
Perfect. And I do think that while they're going through the prompts in the product, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are options to request for assistance as well. Is there?
Yes. Yeah. You'll see the link that's labeled Connect to an Expert, which gives you the exact same articles and help phone numbers that you might need to address any kind of issues.
Perfect. I want to transition a little bit into some just functionality questions from a migration perspective on the QBO side. A lot of folks are asking about QB Ledger. Will this batch migration tool allow for a desktop file to move into QuickBooks Ledger?
Yes, it will. The batch migration tool supports all versions of QBO from Ledger to Simple all the way to Advanced.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear. I think I saw some folks saying they didn't. So that's good clarification to have. That does work.
It does, yes.
That's awesome. We also have some questions around the discrepancy report. Can folks print that by chance? Can they, or is it only available on that screen?
Nope, they'll be able to print it out, download it. It's going to be the exact same report that we're all used to from the import summary, but this one's going to be a little bit easier to read and digest.
That's good to know. So it is printable, guys. Don't forget that. So there was some questions around if I'm not the accountant or I don't have the accountant edition, can I use this tool?
So currently the tool is only available in the accountant version of QuickBooks Desktop.
And I would imagine our sales teams could assist with getting you an edition of accountant if you need it. I would imagine.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. So accountant edition is a must to use this batch migration tool. You can still migrate on your own, an individual company or whatnot, but we're talking about the batch stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so limitations. So I just want to make sure folks know limitations with the tool. Can we just kind of go over those again one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest one that most accountants will encounter is the file size being too big in terms of target size. So the biggest one, that 750 target limit, still applies just like it would to a standard conversion. And if you do encounter that, condensing is going to be the way to go.
Okay.
As for the other limitations, anything in enterprise is not going to be enabled to do a batch migration. So keep in mind, enterprise is not currently supported for the batch migration tool.
Okay, and then I think I saw a limitation with payroll.
There should be any limitations on payroll. It should come over just like any other standard migration.
If they have more than 49 employees?
That can pose as a possible limitation.
Okay.
So more to come on that one.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. The other stuff that we were looking at was, hang on, I have so many different screens. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can the migration be undone?
Can it be halted or like
Reversed?
deleted and stuff? So once a migration is started, you can't stop the process. So once it's sent over, it's going to have to finish its conversion. And then from there, if there is no payroll applied, you can purge your data or upload a blank file into it to revert any kind of data that's sent to QBO. But there is no undo or delete button, anything like that.
Yeah, once it starts, can't stop.
Yeah.
Awesome. A couple more questions here. Sorry to bombard you with a ton. We just have some clarifying stuff. We wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. What if I have more than 50 clients that I want to batch migrate? What do I do?
You can run the batch migration tool twice.
Okay.
So yeah, currently it's up to 50 clients. So you would have to select those 50, QM them, and then select your other 50, do the same process and migrate all of them.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So 50 at a time. If I have more than 50, then I have to do it twice.
Yes.
This is a personal question. It might sound kind of silly, but roughly how long does it take if you're doing a batch migration? Like, how long is it going to take for it to happen? Is it pretty instantaneous or does it take time?
It depends on the file size. For most files that are, I would say anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes for the entire batch to finish. But if you do have a company that has a significant amount of targets in there, that could delay the conversion, depending on how much size. I've seen some go in within 30 minutes, some up to an hour. So it's all relative to the amount of targets you have.
I mean, that doesn't sound bad at all, actually.
No, it
That sounds
doesn't.
pretty reasonable.
Especially if you have multiple large companies, It's
Mhm.
almost like a set it and forget it. You know it's running. You can continue working in QuickBooks Desktop on another file. It doesn't really eat up your resources. Hence
Mhm.
the reason we're calling it a quick migration file.
That's great. I mean, I've worked with you a long time, Rich, and I've seen you create multiple companies open, migrating, several at a time, and it eats a
Yeah.
lot of resources. So this is a really great tool, and I'm so excited to share this with you guys. And Rich, got a lot of folks who are commenting on your voice and how lovely it sounds. So
Oh,
maybe
thank you.
next time you come on, you can sing for us.
Oh, maybe. I mean, got the guitars in the back. We'll see
There
if
you
I'm
go.
invited back.
Rich, thank you so much for your time. If you have an opportunity to hang out in the background and answer questions, we would really love that. But we're actually going to move on to our next presenter. But thanks again for joining.
Absolutely. Thank you, Leah.
Thanks. Awesome. We have our final guest presenter today, Syed, who's going to talk about our latest Pro Advisor training. So whenever you're ready, Syed, you can share your screen, introduce yourself, and take it away.
Awesome. Will do. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm super excited to be here. My voice might not be as good as Rich's, but I'm going to do my best to get through this update.
Nobody's as good as Rich.
So,
Flattered.
so excited to be here. Excited to see a lot of names that I know. We wanted to finish up, as we come to the end of this calendar year, just walk through some important launches that we've had on the Pro Advisor side, especially when it comes to a lot of the amazing training and certifications that we know a lot of our Pro Advisors love to use and take advantage of. So we're going to walk through that today. And just to formally introduce myself, my name is Syed Ali. I've been at Intuit for now 14 years. Whenever you see that, it's been a long time. Time goes by fast. I live in Plano, Texas. So we're not in winter right now. It's still pretty warm outside, but definitely getting ready for the holidays here. All right. So I actually wanted to start with our poll question up front, just to kind of get a gauge of, who's heard of what when it comes to some of the new launches we've had in the Pro Advisor space. So we're going to ask this question. Have you started or completed one of the new Knowledge Badge courses in the Pro Advisor training portal? And we're going to, if you haven't heard of it, no problem. We're going to kind of talk through that today. But the first option you could go with is, yes, I've already completed both. So right now we've launched 2 new Knowledge Badge courses. The second option is, yes, I love my badges. I've completed 1. The third option is no, but it's on my to-do list to get it done at least within the next 3 months. And then last option, no, I have no idea what the Knowledge Badges are. Please tell me more.
Syed, I'm embarrassed to say I'm at the last one. I have no idea what those badges are, so please tell us more.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the reason why today we wanted to talk not just about the new certification updates that we launched in November, but we also want to take some time to talk through the Knowledge Badges. And the Knowledge Badges were part of the larger Pro Advisor Reimagined program that went live earlier this month, late last month. So this is a new exciting way for folks to get some new badges. So cool.
Yeah, so it looks like we got a lot of folks who either have it on their to-do list or also don't know about it. So we did close that poll, guys. We had it open for a little bit longer than normal. So Syed, we definitely want to learn more. Like, let's get into it.
Awesome, cool. All right, so it's kind of to start with the same framing as the other presenters. So our approach is that we know our Pro Advisors love to show their credentials and have confidence when they're helping their clients, right? So our training and certification is a great way for Pro Advisors to validate what they know about the product and to also keep up with the latest product releases, updates, and what's happening across the ecosystem. A lot of folks have, probably on this in the Know webinar today, are certified and know about the training that we have. So the launch that we had in November is 2-part. One is we've updated all of our existing certification exams and the training modules that go along with that. And then we've also launched the new knowledge skill badges. So when you guys get the handouts, if you want to learn more, you could go to these links here in the additional info. I'll also open up my QBOA so I could walk you guys through it so you guys know where to find the knowledge badges. So just to give some context, we've updated our 3 certification exams. So the QuickBooks Online Training and Certification exam has been updated. So If you've been holding off, if you're looking to get certified for the first time in QBO, this is a great time to do it. We have the exam with the latest, updates in it, with the latest training. So the training is 8 self-paced modules, which qualifies for 8.5 CPE credits. And the new certification exam has 73 questions. If you're already certified in core and you're looking to get certified in our QuickBooks Online Advanced Certification exam, that's also been updated. So there's 6 modules for that from a training perspective. That gives you 10.5 CPE credits. And that specific certification exam has 78 questions in it. Another great certification exam that a lot more people are completing now is our payroll certification exam, which also has been updated as of November. And that on-demand training has 5 modules in it, broken into 5 CPE credits. And that specific exam has 51 questions. Okay. And currently we have knowledge badges that you could get and achieve for 2 specific training paths. One is on banking and the other one is on reporting. And once I get into QBOA, I'll show you guys how you could get those badges and how you could qualify for them. And those badges, getting those badges also qualifies for CPE. So I'll show you guys how to get that as well. One thing to keep in mind with the latest recast of the program, completing these 3 certification exams is a great way to get to the gold tier. So that way you unlock premium support, you get access to some email templates and access to the Finder Pro as well. So completing these 3 certification exams is a great way to get to that tier status and to be able to get those amazing benefits that we know our pro advisors want. All right, so with that said, oh, and by the way, with this launch, we also updated the badges that you get along with the certification. And we've introduced the new badges for the knowledge badges that we talked about. So these top 3 certification badges here are the new look and feel for the badges that we have for being certified. So the first one here to the far left is a new QuickBooks Online certification badge. And the one here in the middle is a QuickBooks Payroll certification. And the last one here is for the advanced certification exam. The good news is if you're already actively certified, so if you got recertified last year, or if you've been, if you took a new certification exam recently, these badges will automatically show up in your training portal. So you'll have access to the latest badges if you're already certified, which is great news. And then these new knowledge badges are what we're building on and wanting to roll out more of as we get more into our knowledge badges. All right. So with that, I'm going to just switch over to QBOA. So right now you guys are seeing my QuickBooks Online Accountant. I am logged into the training portal. So just on this left navy, I go to Pro Advisor, and then I go to the Training tab. The cool thing with the Training tab, the home page kind of calls out the latest and greatest that we have going on in the Pro Advisor world when it comes to training and certification. So the first couple of things you'll see called out here is the knowledge badge, which is right here to the left, and we have a get started. And then if you want to learn more about some of the training I talked about today, you can click on learn more, and you can learn more about that. So specifically when it comes to the knowledge badges, if you click on get started, you'll see the 2 different options listed there for the knowledge badge. So you have the banking knowledge badge, or you have the reporting knowledge badge, which you can start with. You can pick any one and complete that and come back and take the other one. So for this use case, I'll go ahead and click on the banking knowledge badge. So click on that, makes me proceed. It creates the new personalized path for me that's specific to that knowledge badge. So right now you can see this knowledge badge is locked. I can't download it to use it. But if I complete the training that's listed below, so if I finish the training that's listed under beginner skill set, I complete the CPE assessment exam that goes along with that. And then I complete the next set of training for the intermediate skills. And then I complete the CPE assessment that goes along with that. If I scroll back up, this knowledge badge will be unlocked for me. So I can unlock and download that badge, use it to show it off wherever you want. There's actually a feature that lets you put it into your LinkedIn profile immediately. So you'll see that kind of pop up and be displayed here as well. And then once you finish that, you can always go back to either the home page or click on continue your personalized path and select that second badge as well, if that's something you want to complete. So that's the knowledge badge. And then just really quickly to show you guys where the latest certification exams are. So if you always go to the certification hub, that's where you could find the latest and greatest certification exam and the training that goes along with it. So you'll see the self-paced modules here, the certification prep, just so you can kind of learn about the exam before you start it. And then, and that also has some sample questions you could take a look at, and then the actual certification exam. And then the same thing with the QuickBooks Online Advanced Certification and the QuickBooks Online Payroll Certification as well. All right. So I'm going to go back to my slide here. So that kind of helps kind of walk through the demo part of where to find the badges, where to find a certification exam. So I wanted to open up to Q&A now to see what questions everyone has, or if there's anything we could clarify with folks.
Heck yes, Syed, thank you. It's so nice to see you in the product. It's so fun because I do that, like that's my regular job.
Yeah.
So I get so excited when I'm like, ooh, a demo.
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
A couple of questions we have around the knowledge badge. So the first things first, is there a cost for any of these certifications for online?
No, there is no cost. So once you log into QuickBooks Online Accountant, you can access those straight from your ProAdvisor tab.
Heck yeah. And I'm looking at you, Shirley, who just asked if there's a charge. No charge for QuickBooks Online certifications, knowledge checks, and badges and all that good stuff. So we also had questions around the point system. If we take the banking knowledge badge, does that give us any points to continue to move up in the point system?
That is a great question. And we've been getting a lot of great feedback on that. So right now it doesn't, but we are looking at that as a quick follow to the Reimagined program. So thanks for sharing your thought, and thanks for that question. Something I'll definitely take back to the team and see how we can implement that, because I think we're hearing that quite a bit now, and we want to see and explore if we could do that.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to look at, considering I have seen a few people ask that question already. So definitely something to think about, Syed, and your team.
Awesome. Yeah.
The other question I had was, hang on, sorry. My brain, it's already ready for the holidays. I don't know about you guys. How long before the badge shows up on your ProAdvisor profile page? I'm assuming it's instantaneous once you take the assessment.
Correct. Yeah. So to clarify, the certification badges are what show up on the Finder Pro. The knowledge badges do not. Right. So knowledge badges are opportunities for folks to download them, use it within their own marketing. If they want to list it onto their LinkedIn profile, for example, areas like that. Currently, the certification exam, and just to differentiate between like the certification and the rigor that goes behind getting that qualification, and the knowledge badge is a bit different right now. So the certification badges, yes, they show up right away within your profile on Finder Pro.
Okay, perfect. So guys, badges, knowledge badges will not be on ProAdvisor profile, but your certifications will.
Correct. Yep. Great question.
Yes, definitely. The other question was, someone was mentioning that they were having issues downloading the certification badges. Are you able to do that now with this new recast?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So you could definitely download the badges, both the certification badges and the knowledge badge.
Okay.
I would say if they're having a hard time downloading it, it should just download pretty straightforward from like as a zip file.
Yeah.
If they could, I'll put an email, accountant_training@intuit.com. If the email is there, that we could perhaps see what's going on, or find a way to get that over to them.
Do you, okay. So I'm assuming it's the same way to download it that you could before. It's under the history.
Yeah, so let me just go back into my QBOA since I still have it open here. You would, once you get to the pathway, so if you go back to where the badges would be. So right now, I didn't finish my knowledge badge with this user, but once you're done, you would actually see the download button right below it, and you would be able to download the badge right from there.
Okay, perfect. And then the other question, there was another question here, but I'm totally losing it. Oh, it was a good one too. Oh, dang it. So hang on. It's here, I swear. Oh, that was it. Can I just take the assessment? Like, do I have to go through all of the little training modules for these knowledge badges?
Yeah,
or do
for the
I
knowledge badges, we've locked the assessment until you go through the training. And we want to make sure folks are level setting and have the
Sure.
latest and greatest. Yeah, so you have to go through that training for those.
Okay, sounds good. I completely respect that, Syed. So for knowledge badges, guys, got to go through all the stuff, but I think you can skip it on the actual certs, if I'm not
Exactly.
mistaken.
Yep.
Okay,
You can skip it
so
for the certification exam.
a little bit different. May need to continue to refine the clarification on the two, but those badges are pretty sharp looking, I must say. I really like them. They look clean. Yeah, so I think that about does it for today, Syed. We'll go ahead and wrap up the questions. We appreciate you so much for being here. All of you guys, Christina, Rich, Syed, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Last but certainly not the least, we're just going to close out with some additional resources like we always do. QBTrainingEvents.com if you're interested in free training with webinars, live events, virtual conferences, head there. We have our wonderful Form of the Future blog where we've got folks all over who write some great articles, also what's new, in addition to what we do every month, as well as the feedback that you guys give us, how we're using your feedback, how it's being taken into action, all that great stuff. Once again, thank you all for the presenters that joined us today. I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, a safe New Year's, and I hope that you guys will come back in February. We will not be here in January to do this again. So thank you all so much and have a great 2023, and we'll see you next year. Bye.